Hi, my name is Kim Hofstra, and tonight I'm going to talk to you about Chapter 2 of our book, Learning from the Stranger by David Smith. In this chapter, Smith shares his personal experiences having grown up an Englishman but now living in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was eye-opening to read his stories of distress, confusion, and misunderstandings that come from not knowing local customs and expectations. Smith was illustrating that while he looks American, he was raised in a different culture, and cultural diversity goes beyond appearances. Smith states the most interesting differences are invisible until we begin to interact. Smith contends our cultural differences impact how we hear, what we see, how we communicate, and how we act. First, how we hear. Smith shares the story of a missionary's experience with a tribe in Venezuela where the new Christians are feeling persecuted by the other tribal members. When the missionary speaks to these other tribal members, they express how they feel rejected. Why do they feel this way? Because the new Christians are no longer singing any of the traditional tribal songs. Instead, they now sing these strange howling songs that have no meaning. The new Christians had learned traditional hymns that were reflective of a different culture. Our cultural lens also impacts how we see. Our society is quick to make assumptions based upon appearance and our prior experiences. It's challenging to consider new viewpoints and different perspectives. Culture also impacts how we communicate with one another. The words that we use to express our ideas carry one meaning for us, but they could very well carry a different meaning for the person that we're speaking with. Finally, our behaviors have been shaped by the culture that we grew up in. Smith walks the reader through 3 different cultures of dining out and how the experience is perceived based upon that culture. Americans desire quick, friendly, and attentive service, while the Germans prefer a slow, leisurely mealtime without regular interruptions. And the Chinese culture usually has just one person order for the entire group rather than individual orders. The Chinese also dislike the high sugary foods and sweet colas that are served. Smith concludes the chapter by summarizing that we must understand that culture is more than visual differences, but it also is the unseen. I agree with Smith that culture is much deeper than what we can see. Smith gave some excellent examples of how cultural experiences impact how we see, hear, communicate, and behave. Goleman's emotional intelligence theory identifies 5 key areas of emotional intelligence: understanding your own feelings, being able to handle those feelings, inspiring self, identifying feelings in those around you, and managing relationships. There were 2 stories in the chapter that led me to this theory. First, the tribe in Venezuela. The new Christian converts within this tribe and the non-converts understood their own feelings of being persecuted and rejected, but yet struggled to identify the feelings of the other tribal members, and then managing their relationships with one another. It would seem, being that they were all of the same culture, that it just would have required sitting down and talking these things out, but yet they struggled to do that on their own. Secondly, Smith shares the story of a group of Navajo teachers attending a conference who did not participate in a group discussion because of insufficient pauses of silence. Did the Navajo teachers handle their feelings of disrespect appropriately? One could argue they remained silent so no harm came of the incident, yet there was a missed opportunity for building relationships and gaining a better understanding of one another's feelings and cultural differences. If Goleman's emotional intelligence was applied to understanding cultures, This could go a long way in managing our relationships with one another. Thank you.